Well, they didn't come with the same intensity. They don't handle prosperity well. They did the same thing against Memphis, but Memphis couldn't shoot the ball like this in the game, and we saw what happened in Game 2, the difference from Game 1 to Game 2. Skip, this is how you know they weren't aggressive. The Lakers starter shot 3 free throws.
How many did Anthony Davis shoot? Help me out.
None.
Oh, 0. Interesting.
Hold on.
No, he shot one.
He missed it.
Yeah.
He made it.
He made it. Oh, well, that was big.
No, you're talking about LeBron. How many LeBron shoot? None. Austin Reeves, none. D'Lo, none. Jerry Vando was 1 or 2. So the starters shot 3 free throws. Skip, that small lineup. You took Kevon Looney out, who gave you 23, inserted JaMychal Green.
23 rebounds.
23 rebounds, and they crushed the Lakers on the glass.
Crushed.
By 15. Skip, we can say they made shots, but the Lakers didn't play with the same intensity. AD trying to, he's calling for the ball 20 feet from the basket.
Yeah.
Get Draymond down on the block and turn around and go over the top of him. But you're trying to bang him. Draymond too crafty. He's going to let you bang him twice, and then he's going to punch the ball out.
Yeah.
That's what he does. But, you know, hey, I don't want to take all the credit away from the Warriors because they shot the ball extremely well, Skip. You nor I thought they could make 21 threes again. They decreased the volume. Yeah. They went from 53 to 42, but kept the same number of makes. That's 50%. They shot 50%. Go ahead.
You're going to lose.
Yeah.
You're just going to lose.
Well, Skip, if you let them shoot 50% from the floor, 50% from the 3, the thing was surprising is that they were only 10 of 60. They were only 62% from the free throw line. A team that shoots that well from the 3 with people guarding them didn't shoot that well from the free throw line with no one guarding them.
No.
But this was a whitewashing. They didn't play any defense. Skip, in the second and third quarter alone, the Lakers gave up 84 points. Now, you tell me who you're going to be if you give up 84 points in 2 quarters.
And in all their previous playoff quarters, they hadn't given up 40 once, including the play-in, right? And all of a sudden, they go back-to-back 40-pluses.
And they gave up 48 for the second half of Game 1. And they gave up 41 and 43 in Game 2. So they got crushed on the glass. They didn't come out with the same intensity. But, hey, now Skip, it's not so much that, you know, the Warriors going to bounce back, but you've given them life. You've given them more life than they deserve. Skip, if they had won the game by 2 or 3 points, I don't know if they feel as good as they're feeling right now. It's the way they feel and the demolition job that they did on you. They took you apart. Kevon Looney played 12 minutes. He had 8 rebounds. Anthony Davis played 33 minutes. He had 7 rebounds. Man, what am I supposed to do with that, Skip? I mean, all that is minus 20, minus 10, minus 27, minus 22, minus 22, minus 19, plus minus. Well, Rui came to play. So, Rui.
But he always comes to play.
He came to play.
Okay. And LeBron came to play for a little while.
Yeah. And then, but they saw nobody else. Like, hey, man, let's just go ahead. I thought Darvin Ham did a good thing. Go ahead and take LeBron out. Y'all not coming back. Ain't nobody want to play defense. Ain't nobody guard nobody. We just going to let Klay and those guys do a shoot around and just shoot up 3. So get on up out of there. But this was embarrassing. This was embarrassing, Skip.
This was shameful for a team that has been the best team in the West since the trade deadline. A team that was up 14 with 6 minutes left in Game 1 and looked like the superior team to the home team, Golden State. Shannon Sharpe. This was a golden opportunity at Golden State to just seize them by the throat and put them in a hole out of which I don't think they could climb out of.
I agree.
This is at tip-off, just moments before. News breaking. Kevon Looney is ill. He's got some sickness that's going to restrict him to 20-ish minutes. And to your point, as you just read, he made it 12. I don't know if he had stomach flu or whatever. But Steve Kerr said, I couldn't start him because if you tell me he can only play 20, it's hard to let somebody play 6 or 8 and then sit him for a long time because you think, well, I got the rest of this game and how am I going to dole it out? So he said, I'll pick my spots and bring him off the bench. Well, it just didn't really matter what he did, except you just made the case. He had 1 more rebound in 12 minutes than Anthony Davis had in 33 minutes. He had 3. Kevon Looney did offensive rebounds, and AD got 1 offensive rebound. Okay, so Mr. Sharpe, help me out here. This game is begging to be won and taken over by two people, both Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Yes.
And I'll start with AD because the bulk of the blame obviously is going to fall on his shoulders because he indicts himself every other game by playing as big as he played in game one. And we sit back and say, hey, that's about as good as there is in this league. That's unstoppable.
You remember the segment we did yesterday?
I think we did. Yes. Okay, and we ride the roller coaster because it almost seems like every other game.
Yeah.
Okay, I just couldn't, and I told you yesterday, surely we're deep enough into the playoffs. Surely this opponent is imposing enough, is scary enough that he'll come out with the same effort in game two that he had in game one because, again, golden opportunity, especially when Kevon Looney cannot, start the basketball game. Inserted into the lineup is a JaMychal Green. He's bounced around this league for a long time. He's 32 years of age. He's your basic 3-and-D player. He's 6'9", so he's not little. He's listed as weighing 5 more pounds than Kevon Looney. He doesn't bang the way Kevon Looney does. Okay, but they're both 6'9". One's 227. That's JaMychal, and the other's 222. That's supposedly Kevon Looney. Well, that's what they're. But I can't trust the listed. Yeah. But I'm just telling you what they're listed at. So JaMychal Green comes in, and basically on offense, he just goes and stands in the corner. I'm over here. You're going to leave me open? And he, to his credit, he made 3 out of 6 three-point shots. And it hurt them in various stages of the game. Shannon, it's begging for your big dog to eat. Just to post up, demand the basketball early on, and set the tone by imposing his will on the smallish Golden State Warriors. There's no Kevon to go in and just scratch and claw with you because he's a pest, he's a nuisance, he's Rodman-esque. AD had 23 rebounds in game one. So did he.
Right.
Well, okay, now it's begging for AD just to say, okay, fire and desire. Let me have the basketball. Let me set the tone. Let's do it in the paint as opposed to from the three-point line. Mm-hmm. So I told you yesterday, surely LeBron can make 3 threes tonight, and he did, although the third one was a little lucky because he backboarded it. Right. But after that was the end of him, and he went 3 for 8, and it easily could have been 2 for 8, which would be on par with what he is. So to the point, they beat them in game one from 2-point and from the free throw line. Those were where they had the huge advantages. Mm-hmm. It was plus 20 from the free throw line and plus 30 from the 2-point range, okay? Mm-hmm. So that's how you offset their big gap of 21 to 6 threes, which was a 45-point gap. But you do the math, you win by 5 exactly, is which the final score was, because you beat them from 2 and you beat them from the free throw line. You beat them from 2 because Anthony just said, give me the ball, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to dunk on you, and I'm going to put some back. I'm going to get some offensive boards. I saw none of the above. I saw tentative. I saw passive.
Yep.
I saw drifting.
Yep.
It's like, what are you doing? Because it's not. It's hard to condemn exactly what he did because it's not bad to shoot 5 of 11, but what's bad is 11. Like, what about how many times did he shoot it in game one? I got 19, the box right here. 19, 11 and 19. Okay, so 8 more shots. This should have been the night. LeBron would have been totally content if AD had shot 25 shots. Right. Especially if he's destroying them.
It was the misses that were right. The shots that he was hitting the other night, Skip, he was just flat out just missing. The little 8-foot hooks.
They looked half-hearted to me. They look like, I don't know. Is there more pressure on him last night just because Kevon couldn't start? Is it like he tenses up, tightens up because, oh, I know I'm supposed to do it now? Right. Is he feeling the heat, the pressure? LeBron rhapsodized about him after game one and said, remember, the Lakers have had a long tradition of big men, and their jerseys are hanging in the rafters, and someday, one day, AD's are going to be hanging up there. Is that too much pressure on him? Is that not how to do it with AD? Do you have to just lay off him and just hope that he shows up and punches the right button to come out and play hard?
I think the thing is, Skip, this is kind of how AD has always been, but the difference is he's playing in New Orleans and nobody gave a damn.
Yeah.
Now you're in the Lakers. And as LeBron said, the history of big men. from Mikan to Chamberlain to Kareem to Wilt, Kareem, Shaq, Powell. Now you.
It's literally huge.
And every name I listed are in the Hall of Fame.
They are.
And all of them got the numbers hanging up in the Raptors, as they said, in the crypt now. So the expectations are different, Skip. He's always drifted. And that's why I'm saying, we talked about it yesterday. Who's the best? I can't, Skip. I can't give him that. I can't have a man give me 30 and 23 one day and then give me 11 and 7 2 days later.
Although, this was intriguing to me. If I look at the first half box score, I see LeBron came out blazing.
Yes.
I see 9 of 13 shots made, most of them from distance, it seemed like. Maybe he had a couple of buckets underneath.
Yeah.
But he was shooting his mid-range jumpers, and he made the 3 threes. Okay, so he also had 5 rebounds. He only had 1 assist because he's not point guarding anymore. He was 2 guarding last night, okay?
Right.
So think about this, Shannon. He has 21 first half points. You're down by 11 at halftime. We've talked about this year. 38 years of age, year 20, these kind of salvos from LeBron don't seem to have the scoreboard impact that they once did.
They don't.
Okay, so we're back to AD or bust. You are going to go as AD goes, and he went nowhere slowly last night, right?
Right.
Okay, so at the halftime, I'm looking at AD. He's 2 for 7 with 5 rebounds. So he has 4 points and 5 rebounds. You're down 11 because he needed to have 10 or 12 points and 8 or 10 rebounds.
Correct.
And then you're right in the thick of
Correct.
it. And you keep the pressure on them because they front run, and I mean that as a very positive term.
Yeah.
But if you let them smell a little bit of blood at home, they will shoot you out of the gym because, listen, they go for the throat, man.
They do.
And when it's going to be one or the other. And here's the difference in these two teams. LeBron and AD can kind of take turns, but again, if it's LeBron's turn, it doesn't seem to have the kind of impact that you need to have to win the big game. But Steph and Klay can take turns, and when Klay makes 8 threes in a big game, it's going to have huge scoreboard impact because it blew you off the floor.
And then because the ball is barely touching his hand and it's up in the switch. Skip, I think only one of the shots, like it caromed around the rim and ended up going in.
Did.
But most of them, Skip, I'm talking about all net. And then when you get Steph doing that, then he's... And Skip, I mean, he's shooting the ball and turning sideways. I mean,
Steph?
Yes.
Yeah. He was so heavily guarded. They doubled him much of the night. I think he's doubled 10 different shot possessions.
Right. Yes.
And, Shannon, now when he decides I am going to shoot this, they contest hard. So now the threes that he makes are the variety of what they are no follow-through. He just flicks it without following through and falls down. Right. He's trying to get the foul call because there's a lot of
people around.
Yeah, but a lot of contest going on. And yet he only made 3 threes, so that didn't kill you. But what killed you are 8 and then 3 more from JaMychal Green, obviously.
Yeah, but Steph only shot 5, so the 3 or 5. But Skip, I think that also what made AD somewhat tentative is that he got in foul trouble early.
He did.
So now he's not challenging anything. Guys are going to the rim, laying the ball up because he doesn't want to pick up that 3rd foul because he picked up the 2nd foul so early in the ball game. So now he started out tentative. Now he's even more tentative because he's in foul trouble.
All right. Okay. I've been hard occasionally on the show on Draymond Green. I want to give him his props because I thought he was crucial to the outcome last night, the outcome that was a blowout. And I really liked what he had to say after the game. If we could see and hear him say this, please. Okay, so it fell on his shoulders often to guard AD. Now, they had help because they were collapsing in, saying, you guys can't come in here. But Draymond winds up with 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists, and took AD face-to-face much of the time. He was playing his tail off while your guy was drifting. And that was the essence of the first half of the game. One guy wanted to play and came out with extreme fire and desire, and AD, as I call him, always disappointing, did not show up.
Yeah, you can tell Draymond was aggressive, Skip. He had 10 shots. Draymond don't know to get up 10 shots. Hey, he perfectly fine, get his little 4 or 5 shots, and he good with that. But he was right. He was aggressive on both ends of the court. He can play his tail off. He understands. And if Skip, a lot of times he's looking to pass the ball. It's like, nah, I'm going. He went to the rack.
He did.
So he wasn't hesitant. He wasn't saying, well, let me look for Steph or one of these cutters for a three-pointer. He's like, nah, y'all gonna leave. Y'all not gonna stop the ball?
Yeah.
Well, I just go lay it up.
Okay.
Skip, it was, it got to the point, Skip, I ain't gonna even lie, Skip. I turned it off.
Okay. I don't blame you. I didn't turn it off, but I was thinking.
You already knew it was going to happen.
But what if something goes haywire?
Like what?
Oh, some big technical foul or some controversy.
They show a clip of that.
Okay.
Skip, they gave up 41, and I was like, man, they about to give up 50 in the third.
They did. Okay, let's look at AD's shots because he said, I had the very same shots I had in game one. I just didn't make them. Well, he didn't make them because it didn't look like he even wanted to make them. Like he shot them without any conviction,
right,
without authority, without, I'm going to make this. There was no post up. There's no, give me the damn ball and get out of my way.
Right.
Okay, so let's see his missed shots, if we could, please. Here we go. Pretty easy shot. Draymond's on.
I mean, Skip, that's like a foot short.
Okay, and that's a little long. And he's not following his shots, and that's a little fall away from the free throw line. And there's another one that's wide right, and there's another one that's wide left. And that's a little bit of a prayer. Okay, and then let me show you his 4 turnovers because they're just unplugged turnovers. I'm not focused tonight.
Right.
I'm not into this game. Let's see the 4. 3 of them came in the first half, which was a problem. Okay, that's oh God, please.
At the back.
And then he
airmailed that one.
Yeah, he did. And then off his
Draymond.
foot. Yeah. And then he tried to hit a home run there, throw a touchdown pass, and way too long. Okay. He's not focused. He's not mentally into the game. It's hard to watch because of what he did in game one. It's the flip side. And again, once Klay starts to feel it,
it's over.
Then there's no pressure on them at all.
Yeah, because when look, and we're going to talk about this later, but Klay can heat up quicker than Steph because he's so much of the catch and shoot. Steph's going to take it off the dribble. That's really not what Klay's trying to do. He can do it now. But, Skip, as far as catch and shoot, like they take the ball out of bounds and just pass it to him in the corner, and you got to get a shot up quick because the guy's right there. And then I watched I watched Klay. They ran an out-of-bounds play. Klay comes from all the way up under the basket. I was like, y'all do know he's coming off that screen and going to shoot this 3 at the top, right? Y'all know that, right? Y'all done study tape. I'm watching at home, so I know what he's going to do, so I know the Lakers know.
Okay.
Don't nobody get out there, and bam.
Okay, so it's an 11-point game at halftime, and I'm still thinking you guys can climb back in this, but you're going to have to start locking it. It depends what mindset do you bring out of the halftime going into the third quarter. Well, you know and I know what happened in the third quarter. Disaster happened.
Yeah,
right?
They gave up 43. They got beat by 19 in that quarter.
Okay, so here's the third quarter. I'm looking at what happened. LeBron went 1 of 5 and scored 2 points. Anthony Davis in the third quarter did make a few shots. That's where he started to make it up, and look, he scored 7 points. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom half of this box score, look what happened. The Lakers went 1 of 7 from 3. Meanwhile, Golden State goes 8 of 10 from 3. I'm just talking about in the third quarter. And JaMychal Green makes 2 threes, and Klay makes 3 threes. And you got annihilated by 43-24, and that was the ball game.
They made 15 to 22 shots total.
Okay, it's no defense. It's no heart. It's no desire. That's when. And remember, at the end of the third quarter, LeBron got a technical foul, which is fairly unusual. He barked at the official over he took a shot, and it was that high five play where the ball's gone and there's a high five, and they won't call that anymore. And then the last, this was pure frustration. This is LeBron, it's eating him alive. So he goes over and contests a 3 by, what's his name, Moses Moody. Moses Moody shot it over in the far corner. And he goes over, and he may have gone to sleep by then or turned it off. But if we could see it, he goes over the top of him, and he did get all ball, but he just hammers him in the back. Yeah, here it is. And knocked him down. And LeBron goes out of his mind and goes into his histrionics. And he says, no. I went around him and I got the ball. And he tells Darvin Ham, challenge. And Darvin's like, okay, we'll try. Shannon, it had no chance. It was the epitome of LeBron frustration, where he's losing his mind because they are losing so badly up on the scoreboard.
But he ought to know. Yeah. That was Eric Lewis. That's the same one that blew the call in Boston.
That is
LeBron, you know you weren't going to get that call from him.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Why you fooling around with that man?
Yep.
And they had him and TB, Tony Brothers. Oh, man. Man, I could have told you right there, let that go.
Okay, but I don't think they were the reason that you lost.
No. The other team was the reason they lost the game.
Yeah.
One team came out hyper-focused, ready to continue, ready to compete.
Yeah.
And the other team like, well, we already got one game. Let's go on back to the crib.
I guess that's what they said. And boy, by halftime, I guess they were already saying, let's just take the second half off.
Okay, come out with that intensity on Saturday, and you'll find yourself down 2-1. And you're going to be hoping that you can get game 2 to make it respectable. Because if they get you down 3-1, you already know what's going to happen. 2016 won't repeat itself.
Agreed.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.